Alright, how y'all doing? I'm going to try and keep this brief, but it would have made a lot more sense to people who may have followed some things that I'd done many moons ago. The moral of this video, realistically, is don't give up. Okay, it might seem like at times you should. Everything seems like it's lost, but don't. And trust me, during this time, I wanted to. There were times I just thought, it's not going anywhere. We're not going to win. We can't. And today I got some... I'm torn. It's great news, but I don't know how to feel. Way back in the day, 2011-ish, I started a daily vlog. And that was chronicling the lives of me, my partner, my two boys. Things weren't always great, and I spoke the truth every single day. I have brain and spine damage, so I have a bad memory. And, well, I can have a bad memory. Some stuff just sticks and it won't go away, and I wish it would, and stuff that I really need to hold just doesn't stick. It's almost like having dementia sometimes. And so I'd make this vlog. It gave me something to do. Right, and I got to share moments with my family, with family and friends. I didn't live near my family and friends at this time. I was living away in the city, and all my friends and family lived, funnily enough, here in this town, or a large chunk of them. I had a lot of friends overseas and all that kind of stuff. But regardless, the vlog was a nice thing to do. It was something to keep me occupied, keep me entertained. It was fun. It was neat. And as I say, I was honest in it. I didn't see the point in doing it if I was just going to be one of these people that would be super happy, positive all the time. It was just, that just did my head in. You can't sustain that. No one is as positive as they make out in a lot of these videos. But my negativity also drove a lot of people away. We called it the ultimate form of reality TV. If there was a bad time, it's a bad time in the vlog. I didn't hide it at all. If there was a bad thing happening in the house, it went in the vlog. If it was okay with the family, it went in the vlog. You know? And that went on for years and years and years, all the way up until middle of 2020. And just... So there was a lot of stuff about my kids in there, me, my partner, now my wife. And as I said, there was a lot of negativity in it. A lot of negativity in it. And around 7 years ago, maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less, my eldest son started school. Now, we just moved from one area to another at the time. The school that we were going to get him into, the nursery we were going to get him into, or the nursery that had been in prior, we were well out of catchment. We'd moved literally 30 to 40 miles away. We were nowhere in catchment for anywhere that we'd done anything for. And when we'd moved, we were kind of in this middle phase where we just couldn't get him into a nursery. We couldn't get him into a whatever placement and that. And it was just getting really hectic. We get my eldest Spud into a school. It's not necessarily the school we want him to go to, but we get him into a school. And it doesn't take too long before they point and say, have you thought of such and such a thing? I don't want to go into a huge amount of details here, but just they pointed something. I was like, have you noticed? And we're like, well, no, he's our first, and kids don't really come with instruction manuals, so you just assume that everything's going A-okay. I want to throw out there, my oldest son, brilliant lad, absolutely brilliant lad, but he has none, like donut confidence, none. If you talk to him, he will stumble on his words all the time. He really struggles to speak to people, but he's a fucking fantastic kid, really polite, you know, really clever in things that he's interested in, but just he's got no confidence. He is also like me in that he doesn't remember much of anything. If someone gives you a name, he'll forget it in a couple of minutes. It's fine, right? And they point it out, and everyone, people point out some bits about my eldest boy. and people start to freak out. I start to freak out because, as I say, he was a very clever lad up until around 2, 3 years old. I say clever, vocal. He'd talk and he'd point and he'd do all this stuff, and it was great. And then just out of nowhere, he started to go backwards. Like, he didn't like change very much. He didn't like things being out of routine. And I was fucking terrible when my boys were young. In my opinion, I was a terrible dad. Okay. Many will argue that I weren't. They'll say you tried your best. And I was like, well, if I'd have tried my best, things probably wouldn't have turned out as they had done. But either way, you know, I don't know if all parents do this, but like if there was ever an accident, it's like, oh mate, if only I'd have done this, if only I'd have done that. Like, oh, they've got a little dink on their head where they tripped over and like hit the head on something, or oh look, he's like cut his finger or he's burnt his hand or something. Oh God, I gave him a bottle that was a bit too hot. I hold on to all that, and it's all my fault, and it's my fault that the world is as it is. So, you know, I just felt fucking terrible. And everyone started to freak out as well because they knew that I had some medical conditions, and they were worried that that stuff could be passed on. And I had to assure people that that wasn't the case. A lot of my medical conditions have come from other things, complications at birth and stuff like that. It's not something that you are literally just, you know, it's not a genetic thing, brain, spine damage and that. And so the school starts saying, like, hey, you know, have you got all this stuff in place? And we're like, no, maybe, we don't know. What's the procedure? And they, you know, initially, the school was quite helpful. They brought all this stuff up and they were reasonably helpful. But as time went on, they proved to be less and less and less helpful. We managed to get him a 1-to-1. They gave it to him for half a term. Said to us that, oh yeah, we're going to take his 1-to-1 away. Can you sign on this piece of paper to say that we're going to trial him without a 1-to-1 for like a week? And we were just assured this by his teacher at the time. We're like, okay, it's just a week. Okay, fine. Sign on the thing, stupidly. But he's off school for a week. And then the next week when he comes back, 'cause he was unwell, he comes back into school and he's got tests and stuff. But they're going to take his 1-to-1 away anyway because we signed on the line. He never got it back, by the way. He never got that 1-to-1 back. And we fought and we fought and we fought and we fought for years and years and years. Took the local authorities to tribunal. We have fought the council, the local govy. That's what this is a battle against the local govy to get support. We seem to have to fight for absolutely everything. We've done courses. We have done courses. My mum has done courses. I've done stuff. My partner has done stuff. My wife has done stuff. And we've advised other parents on what to do when things happen, given advice and all that kind of stuff, suggested paperwork and that. But after this 1-to-1 thing happened, we got no help from the schools at all anymore. I won't mention the school. We had some really nice teachers, but basically it seemed like any teacher that tried to stand up for the students, they just seemed to disappear. You know, it was really weird. And we went for years and years and years, just paperwork and arguing and meetings on and on and on, having to deal with social services on and on and on to try and get things done because the school would have a problem and then they'd call people up on us and then they'd come and see us and they'd go, wait, what? They did what? And we're like, yeah, that's what they did. And they'd come and sit with us and they'd interview us and then we'd have to go into the school and argue with the school. And I remember one time the school really got in the face of this woman from social services and she was like, wait a minute. Is that how you've been dealing with this family? Hard no. And just, oh God, it was chaos. And this went on and on and on for years, just thinking that we've got all the evidence, we've got everything you asked for. You were the ones that pushed for this. This should be simple. Like my son's education is being thrown down the toilet because paperwork. And by the time he gets to year 3, he really doesn't like school at this point. He's pushed from pillar to post all the time, bless him. We finally get into a room with people. We have a meeting. And it went completely down the pan. The school bigged him up. Really, 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 like, wow, they boosted his ego right in front of him. bless him. And that really stung his confidence because they told him that they told the LA that he could, local authority, that he could do things that he wasn't confident in doing. And it really shook his confidence, bless him. And they said no. The local authority wouldn't help us because the school, like, yeah, it's great, we're doing this and that, blah, 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 look at this, and here's all the things. They had no evidence at all. None. And as I say, eventually we had to take them to tribunal. So at this point, it's gone from reception, year 1, year 2, year 3, get a meeting, nothing, argue, more meetings, more paperwork, more courses, more, more training, more this, more that. And it's just, nothing was happening. We were advising other parents what they could and couldn't do. A lot of parents went to the school that we were at, or that our sons were at, because they were apparently good for children with autism, Asperger's, same thing, it's just on the spectrum. What's the other one? ADHD, all that. Anyone with children with educational needs, they were there. They had like a speech and language section in the school. People were bringing in children in wheelchairs. People were bringing in children with hearing issues, and like, it was supposed to be a really, really, really good school. Like, if you were to look at it, it was supposed to be a good school, but just out of nowhere, it went into the floor. And you would talk to these parents who had just moved to the town to send their children to this school. I was like, no. Unless you've got everything hardcore in place, don't do it. Just don't do it. And but we were advising other parents too, about how they could get things done and things that we've had to do. And we would see them just go. They'd sail through. They'd do all of the things that we advised, all of the things that we'd done, and where we was like, yeah, it could take a while to get things done. They sailed through. And it just went on for years and years and years. And my boys got through primary. My eldest got through primary school. He started secondary school, and we got nowhere. We even had tours of schools that we would have liked him to have gone to, and they just said no. We went on tours at their advice, and they said no. It's like, why do you keep dangling things in front of our faces, only to just take away you're boosting this kid up just to pull it away from you, you absolute bastards. I don't want to talk shit about the local authority, though. But this went on until, well, today. That's 7+ years. Jumping through hoops, filling in paperwork, getting refused. But my family has a history of slipping through the cracks. My little family group, me, the 2 boys, and the wife. At one point, actually, when the boys were born, you generally have visits from like midwives and stuff after you have kids, right? And visits just randomly stopped. Like, what's going on? We'd moved down here at the time. And they said, oh, yeah, we thought you'd moved back to the city. It's like, no? Where'd you get that idea? And just, we often just slip through the cracks. It's really, 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 really weird. We have no luck at all with paperwork either. None at all. It's done correctly. It's handed into the relevant place. And just, we have no luck with it. It doesn't happen. But either way, my boys hate school. They absolutely hate school. And if I had to be honest with you, I don't care what they do as they go through school. I don't care. As long as they think, like, I don't aim for my sons to be like, world-class engineers or top scientists or whatever. I just want them to be happy. I just want them to be happy. If they said, Dad, I want to be a traveling musician, go for it. If that's what makes you happy, if that's what's going to get you through the day, do it. I just want you to be sure that you will dedicate yourself to it. You will work for it. I don't want them to walk on anyone else either. But so realistically, as time went on, I started to think, by the 5th year, and we're coming up to high school time. I'm like, oh my God, if you'd have put in the relevant stuff when it was initially pushed, like, yeah, but we've like I said, we went to this meeting. I was like, oh yeah, we've done this. No stats to prove it. Nothing. No paperwork. Like, yeah, but look at all these improvements in that. Rubbish, absolutely rubbish. We're sat at home doing loads of stuff with my boys. We do. We teach them all kinds of stuff at home. And I'm like, had you have actually put all of this stuff in place however long ago, it might have been effective. But it's too little, too late. It's like, I'm going to teach you, advanced whatever, but I haven't taught you the basics yet. But I'm going to get someone to limp you through some of the stuff whilst we're still trying to cram your head with the more advanced stuff. It just doesn't work. Had they have put the stuff in when it was first requested, perhaps, we weren't the only family going through this though at the school, and even in the area, we weren't the only people going through it. But it was just going on and on and on. We were seeing all these other parents just go past, and I was just getting so disheartened. I was like, we're wasting my boys, both of them, school. We're wasting their education. We're wasting their education. And today, as I say, we got the call. We finally get what we've been asking for going on 7-ish years. I don't remember exactly when we started, but I documented this in these daily vlogs for years. Just coming home stressed, getting random phone calls, getting called to go and meet someone at the council offices and that. It was just, what became the town hall, I guess. And it was just an absolute nightmare. Meeting after meeting, phone call after phone call, getting absolutely nowhere, feeling like a failure. And this is not about me. It's supposed to be about my children, but it was so damned hard because you just see this time going on and on and on, and nothing was moving, or nothing seemed like it was moving. And even if you couldn't even throw a temper tantrum at them, they'd just stonewall you. Bam, no, not going to deal with you. I was like, but this is, like, it's not just my child, but it's other children's livelihoods you're screwing with here. I mean, it's bad enough, like, even if you're like an adult trying to get a diagnosis of something. We had to take them to tribunal to get an educational care plan in place, and it wasn't followed. Or there were no improvements at all. Improvements were so minor, it wasn't even funny. They just nothing was happening. Yeah, we're here to support you. I remember once actually. Yeah, we're here to support you, and they were sat at the table against us. That was fantastic. But then we get the call, and we almost wanted to cry. Ain't gonna lie, like, we've been so stressed for so long, thinking that we weren't going to get anywhere. Get the call. Yeah, is this something? Yeah. It's so and so from such and such. Yeah. Just instantly go to the negative because we've already had the negative before. You got it. Like, really? After all that time? After all that damn time? I should feel grateful. Little guy's happy. That's all I want is for him to be happy. That's all I want is for him to be happy. And he hates school. He absolutely hates school. Both of them do. They hate it. And you try and push them through, and they hate it. And now it's just like, yeah, I don't have to go to that school anymore. Can I go to the nice school? It's like, yeah, soon. Soon. A few of his friends had already gone to that school, and they've come on. Oh man, progress leaps and bounds. The school that we got refused for, they've said yeah. I should be grateful, but I'm just like, why couldn't you do this sooner? I've been so angry for so long that when that release kicked, like, I just done. And I was like, I didn't know what to do. What do you do with all that anger? I crashed. Like, I'm not gonna lie. 1 minute I was standing there, I would have gone outside, scream at the top of my lungs, and then just come in and doof, on the floor. I was out. I was exhausted, just mentally drained. Can't believe it. It's finally. No, it's not over yet. It's not over until they're in the school and everything's in and just if there is something you have to do, something that you need, and you just keep getting stonewalled the entire time, keep going. You know, you might not get it now, you might not get it tomorrow, a month from now, a year from now, but eventually, hopefully, if you want it enough, if you need it enough, just keep going. If you have a child with like ASD or ADHD or whatever acronym, you know, keep going, keep pushing. That'll seem like the whole thing is against you if you're in a crappy school district. Just keep going. Keep boosting those little kids and just saying, like, you're going to get this. You've got this. Keep going. It's hard to do that when you don't really know if you want to keep going yourself. Oh, mate. I wish I'd still been doing the daily vlogs. I really wish I was. I mean, there's these. Now. Bless him. I was so scared for him. I was like, God, if only I'd have done all this better. Again, it's not about me, but just I go through my head every day. I'm just like, if only I'd have done that better. No, if only that hadn't happened. If only I'd have done this instead. If only I'd have pushed harder for this, or you know. If only I was one of these dads, or if only we were one of these parents. That don't matter, as long as you should just love your fucking kids. There are some people out there who things don't come easy to them. They have to fight for everything. We're not all in the same boat. We don't all know how the other person feels. I say I know how people feel. I don't. The way we take in sensory inputs and all that and process is all completely different for each person. What's one thing for me is completely different to someone else. But if you're having a hard time, I know there's going to come times when you want to just stop. You can't. 7 years plus, and we're already now seeing the light. We were advising parents 3, 4, 5 years ago, and they were just done. We went to tribunal with some families. Our case was what put theirs through, and then to see them go, they'd file the next piece of paperwork, they'd have the next meeting, they'd do this, they'd do that, and bam, they're in. Days, weeks, months go past. We still haven't been sorted. We're that next big chasm has been crossed. I'm so proud of my spuds. Fucking, they're fantastic kids. They just keep on going. They really do. If I keep drilling it into their heads, practice. If you're not good at it now, just keep practicing. Eventually things will just slot in. And things will just fit. They'll click. You know? Hard work beats fucking talent every single day. Sometimes it's hard. But you got to keep going. I just wanted to make this. It's done. Well, it's nearly done. The next bit is done. It wasn't a waste of time. I just wish it had come sooner. And I came home and I felt so motivated. I fixed the tumble dryer. One day I'm gonna put the kids back in these videos. I miss making videos with my boys. Fucking brilliant kids. I'm a lucky guy. I'm a very lucky guy. I think I'm a very lucky guy. Just not a great story. Really broken. I wanted to be short, and I've been going on for... Fuck! You'll get there. You might not have kids, and you might be, doing something really hardcore, and it's just not moving forward. Just keep going, please, because tomorrow might be the day. If tomorrow ain't the day, maybe it's the day after. You got to keep going. Which is funny coming from a guy who's like fucking part stoic, part nihilist, but I'm heading off. Fuck yes. Hope you are. I'll see you all with a bit of luck in the next one. For all the folks who find this, who watch those daily vlogs, yes. I don't know what to do. The anger's just... Now what do I have to smash?